Hey friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we have a couple projects I'm going to be working on today, and I wanted to show you guys some updates on a couple things that we had going on, like the cuttings that I did, and what else? A couple other things. The maple tree, and just look to see how they're doing. So with the maple cuttings that I did, I went out to work and totally forgot that I had them in the sun, and didn't realize that it was going to be over 90 degrees out that day. So a lot of them ended up getting burnt to a crisp, and but a lot of them actually, not a lot of them, some of them survived. And you know, I'm going to show you guys how some cuttings are doing. So here's this is a birch, couple clippings I took, and this has been in here for what, over a month now. So it's doing pretty well. Some new growth up top here. In the back I have some juniper cuttings that are doing pretty well, that have been in here for a little over a month now. And another good thing to do is to put one of these on top, just to keep the humidity you know, in and around the trees. So like I would put this, you know, around the trees like that, and it would hold a lot of that humidity. So here are the maple clippings, and you could see I only have like, what, 10 left from the original batch, and you know, that have new growth on them that are doing you know, pretty well. And the other ones are elm. Elm clippings, and you know, those are doing pretty well. But like I said, what you do is, after you you set them outside, is to put like how I have a bag on that one, or a you know, another canister like this up on top of it. You know, holds the humidity in, and we'll make those cuttings grow. But you could see over here, these have been in here for over a month and are doing pretty well. I don't see any new growth on them, but they still seem very green, so I'm doing pretty well. And in here I have some crabapple cuttings in there, and those are rooting as well. So what else? So this is the elm that I collected out in the field, and the clippings that I have in the container over there are from this tree. And I already had this tree cut back, so this tree exploded with growth, and ended up cutting it back pretty hard. So it's doing pretty well. And over here I have the oak, and look at the leaves on that, you know, getting pretty big. But I'm not going to do anything with this tree. I'm just going to let it grow, and maybe next year we'll see how it's going and work on it. And this oak right here is doing pretty well. I cut it back yesterday just a couple couple nodes back just to get some sunlight in there and get that inner growth growing. So what I'm trying to do is ramify the inside, maybe get some branches growing from the inside here, and this tree will look pretty damn good. So, and look at over here I have the Scots pine, and how you tell it's a Scots pine is it has a cluster of 2 needles. Here, I'll pull a cluster out here. So you have 2 needles, and then also if you look at it, here, I'm gonna set you guys down right here. So if you look at it, how you tell it's a Scots pine is with the as the needle goes up, it twists. So if you could see that, how it twists going upwards, that's how you tell it's a Scots pine. And also another way to tell is if it had cones on it. So the seed cones on the Scots pine point inwards towards the trunk, and if the tree was a little bit bigger, how you could also tell it's a Scots pine is the upper portion of the trunk is the bark is peeling away and shows like a reddish bark to it. And so the only tree that can be confused with a Scots pine is this over here, is a Jack's pine, otherwise known as the savage pine. And the needles on this, how you could tell the difference, I'll grab one from each really quick. See if I could pull a cluster out here. I'm gonna be careful doing this. It's very hold on. Oh. So how you could tell the difference is it makes a V. It spreads apart, and the seed cones on this, on the Jack's pine, point outwards and point away from the trunk, and the seed cones on the Jack pine, they're closed, and the only way that they open is if there's a fire and it reaches above 120 degrees, whatever it is, and then after the fire goes away, it drops the seed cones, and the seeds, the cone opens up and drops its seeds, so it could refresh that forest. So that's how you could tell the difference. But let me grab a cluster over here from the Scots pine. So that's the difference between the Scots pine, which is the longer one, and you can see how it twists, and the Jack's pine, where it forms a V. So that's how you could tell the difference between those two. And then let me walk down here and grab a cluster from another pine. See how many we got here. Find a good one to show you guys. So the white pine has 5 needles, and you could tell the length of it. So all the way to the right you have your white pine, in the middle you have your Scots pine, and all the way to the left is the jack pine. And let me show you guys another pine. Let me go in the garage here. I got another pine in there. So the one with the 5 needles, the one I just showed you, was eastern white pine. And in the garage, here I have another pine right here. Let's see if I could grab a cluster here. So this is another white pine, but it's a Japanese white pine, and you could see this white pine. It has a streak on the needle, on the side of the needle, where it's a grayish, whitish streak. So, and it's 5 needles, so that's how you could tell it's you know, a Japanese or a white pine. So that's how you could tell the difference between the pine trees, and those are the pines that I have here. So that's that. So let me show you guys something else here. I wanted to show you guys a couple of these books here that I got. So I have some of these books that I've been reading. So this was the first book that I got. I think it's by Peter Warren. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it is. Author Peter Warren. So this was the first book that I got. This book was freaking awesome. Went through that whole book, read it, and then got this one for my son. And I enjoyed reading this book as well. This book was pretty cool. So the Peace Tree of Hiroshima. So everybody knows this tree is it's famous. It's a famous tree. I think it's survived the atomic bomb and was given to us, and I think it's in Washington. But this book was pretty cool. Great kids book if you have kids. And then another book that I got, this was the third book that I got, that I read. And this is a great beginner's book. And then this one. And then these I just got yesterday. Master Series, this one. So on Amazon, this book right here was $130 on Amazon, and I ended up getting all 3 of these books. So this was the Pine, Juniper, the Master Series Junipers, and the Magician. And I got all 3 of these books for $80. Yeah, $80. So I just got these in yesterday. I can't wait to go through those. Those are going to be awesome reads. So yeah, if you were going to get these books, let me just see the website that I went on. Stone Lantern. So yeah, if you want to get those books, don't get them from Amazon. There were just, for one book was $130, and I got all 3 of them for 80 bucks. So I just wanted to show you guys another tree here. This is a Scots pine, and Look how nice this tree is coming along here. Look at all the new needles, how they're just about all the same growth, all the same length. Look how beautiful this tree is. So here I have a another collected elm. I collected this the other day, and I'm have an air layer to it, and we'll know in about a month to see if the air layer will take. Hopefully it'll take. This will be a nice little tree if it comes along. So here's that that holly tree. So look how nice these little pads are coming along. Not really pads, because that's not really what you want with this deciduous tree, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's looking pretty damn good. And here's that juniper. Here are some seedlings that came up, some honey locust seedlings. So these will be pretty cool. And then over here is that Japanese black pine. You could see all that, start seeing some new growth coming up top here. I just posted a video of this, but you see the nice, the new candles coming up. So look at all that in there, so you guys could see it. Let me see. See all the new candles right in there, all that new growth. So that's going to be nice. So once I go to this my pine nursery, I'll bring you guys along with, and wait till you guys see this place. This place is so cool. Probably one of my favorite places. Alrighty friends, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Next video coming up, we're going to be working on the spruce, dwarf spruce, and yeah, so we'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace!